Hi, it's Bruce Woodburn at CrossCountry Mortgage, and I'm here today with Michael Schmidt from Keller Williams Realty, Keller Williams Classic Realty in Orlando. And I tell you what, I wanted to have this interview today with Mike because he really prides himself on being customer focused and relationship driven. And I really love the way he handles things with his clients. He's a great negotiator. And I will tell you something, I have not had a closing yet where his clients haven't literally been thrilled to death with his service. But I wanted to also talk with Mike about current market conditions because there's a lot of things going on right now and that people are uncertain of. So I have 3 questions for Mike, but welcome, Mike. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Bruce. It's great to chat with you and speak with a mortgage lender like yourself. I mean, I know I've chosen to work with you because of your 30 years of plus experience, the over 9,000 transactions you've closed. The fact that you're a top lender, not just in Central Florida, but also the nation. Plus, I enjoy listening to you on 96.5 FM, on your radio show. So, things are doing really well right now.
Yeah, they are.
Right now, probably the biggest tick is home sales are now at $290,000 is the median price for a sale, which is up 6.5%. From the week previous. And these numbers come from ORA, which is the Orlando Regional Realtors Association.
That's a reputable organization for data.
Yeah. Yeah, and they pull all their data up based on MLS sales.
So you're telling me that home prices have gone up 5%?
6.5%.
In 1 month?
No, from the last week.
From the last week?
Yes.
Okay. During this pandemic.
Yes.
That is an interesting statistic.
Yeah. People are still buying. The market is still moving. There was just a lot of uncertainty.
There was.
Our days on market, which is a second point I want to stress, has come back down to past the initial panic time of where no one knew what was going to happen with COVID-19. And we're back down into about 90 days now from the time a house lists to the day it closes, and about 50 days to get under contract, which is in line with our...
So from the day that hits the market, it's closing in 90 days.
Yep.
And I would tell you something, I don't know about you, but I think that's got to be an average because I'm not seeing that. Like you and I know that when you write a contract, like you put a house on the market, you got 5 offers in the next 2 days, right?
Oh, yeah.
Generally, because it's priced right. And then I'm closing in 21 days. So somebody else is closing slow, much slower than you and I are.
I agree totally. Your 21-day quick close is amazing. Yeah. And that's what helps drive these numbers down. It's houses that are listed overpriced or are in bad shape or things like that are driving those numbers up. It's definitely an average, though.
Absolutely.
But, that's why I love sending people to you because it's like bang, bang, bang. You and your team are all over it.
Well, I appreciate that, and that's nice of you to say. But let's get back on topic as to what's going on in the Florida market. So you're telling me that housing price has gone up 6.5%. Mm-hmm. The average purchase price is about $290,000, and houses are going from when they're listed to closing in 90 days. That's pretty impactful information. That tells me that there's a lot of activity. Now, I don't know about from your side, but from my side, I'm still seeing clients losing out on offers every day with full price offers. They're getting outbid, Mike.
It's happening. I mean, it's still slightly low volume right now for inventory that's available.
Meaning we're in a seller's market.
Yeah. Yep. And there are ample buyers out there that are qualified. So, I mean, the people that are nervous about COVID-19 that are stepping back. But the people that aren't and that are still qualified are out there. They know what they want and they're going after it.
Right. Right. What are some of the things that you're doing and you're seeing happening to accommodate the needs of somebody that might be concerned about a buyer tromping through their home when they've got it listed?
Well, we set up virtual tours, either with a collage of still photos turned into like a moving collage, or we can do video or 3D tours even. And we get those out to people, number one, to help narrow the pool and get
that's great when you're
buyers in.
That's great when you're out shopping around. But what if I'm really interested in a property? Like, I don't know about you, but I don't buy clothes online because I can't fit into them, right?
Bingo.
I'm a big guy. I got to try this stuff on, right?
So I hear you.
When it comes to a home, like, I'd be nervous buying a home virtually. So what happens when, like, do you have to make an offer, or do you have to let the seller know that you're super well qualified and now I want to see the home?
I mean, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to call the listing agent. I'm going to say, I have a client that really wants to see the home. Here is my pre-approval letter from CrossCountry Mortgage and Bruce's team to show you that my client's fully vetted. I'm not just bringing a curious neighbor down the street in. I'm bringing someone that wants to make an offer, but they need to physically see before they put down this kind of coin into one of the biggest purchases of their life. We'll come through with masks. I will take their temperature at the door with a 3D, no touch thermometer.
Right.
We'll wear gloves, masks, foot booties.
Beautiful.
We'll make sure that asking you to open closets, open drawers, so that we don't even have to touch anything with gloves on to minimize contact. And we're going to go in and not dawdle. We're going to go in, walk around, see what we want to see, and then discuss things outside.
Yep. You're not touching their objects or anything like that.
Bingo.
Not messing with light switches. You're wearing gloves, booties, and a mask. I think I'd be pretty comfortable with that. That's great. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I do. Where are rates at right now?
I tell you what, rates are really very attractive right now. They're up a little bit from about a month ago, but not much. But I think, if you've got really good credit, I'm locking interest rates in the mid threes with really good credit. There's been, very, very attractive on a 30-year, on a 15-year, you can be in the mid to high twos all day long with really good credit. So very attractive. It's funny because there's been some really odd things happening in the interest rate market for us that can, that have been different from days past. And one is that, like, for instance, on an FHA loan, if you had marginal credit, the lender could just increase the interest rate and you could still qualify as long as you qualified for a higher interest rate. Now, I can't get you an interest rate on an FHA loan any higher than 3.625%. Now, you may go, wow, that's pretty good, Bruce. I like that because I have marginal credit and I'm getting a really attractive loan. Well, the problem is they're now coming with points. So you're not seeing loans any longer when you have marginal credit at no points because the lender can't buy up the rate. So you are seeing that happening. You're also seeing some changes in conventional loans. Like, for instance, if you've got a credit score under 700 and you're getting a conventional loan, it would be very challenging for you to get a 3%, 5%, and sometimes even a 10% down loan if you don't have a 700 credit score. Now, I got one approved yesterday that had a 637 credit score, but they were putting down 20% on a conventional loan. So it worked. But, those are some of the changes that we're seeing. It's still, the rates are attractive, so a lot of people are doing refinances, but Fannie Mae implemented additional charges to cash out refinances. So if you're pulling money away from the equity that you have in a property on a refinance, you're going to get walloped with a little bit higher pricing on that than you did a couple of months ago. So they made some restrictions on that as well.
All right. Now, the real important question is, how long do you see these phenomenal rates lasting?
Well, that's an interesting question. And, much like the weatherman, you're never going to be right and you're never going to be wrong. You always got an escape route on that. But here's the thing, okay? Regardless of your political persuasion, I do think that we're going to get out of this. We're not going to get out of it and be like it was before Corona. anytime real soon, but we're getting back to normal. I think that Governor Ronald DeSantis has done a great job on trying to get things back moving again. I feel that the economy is starting to pick back up again, but here's what I predict is going to happen. As soon as we all go back to work, or at least most of us go back to work, you're going to see the stock market start to rally again. And, interest rates are tied to the bond market. So when bonds are doing well, generally stocks are doing poorly. As soon as stocks start to go up, bonds will drop and rates will go up with it. So, it's funny on our market, although I want the stock market to do really well because it helps my 401k, I want it to do very poorly because it gives my clients better interest rates. So I'm always torn between those two. But as the stock market starts to go up and things get better and the economy gets moving, you're going to see rates increasing quite rapidly, in my opinion. So I am all about locking in. I'm in what's called a locking bias, not a floating bias. I don't trust, and I'm seeing it inch up every day, even though the stock market is fairly flat, sometimes even negative. I'm seeing the same on the bond market. Usually they act opposite to each other, but now you're seeing the stock market and the bond market down, which is highly unusual and driving interest rates slightly higher every day. So I'm all about locking things in.
Okay. That's an awesome answer. Okay. Now I was talking with someone and a client, and they were talking to me about how they've been locked in months ago. And now they're being told they might not qualify or they're not qualified, and they're being put into an overlay. And it's really great that we're having this conversation because I needed to come to you to find out more about overlays and what's going on with that.
So it's one of the words that realtors are hearing. Now, lenders have heard this for years, but it's one of those words that realtors are hearing more and more frequently. So if you were qualified 3 months ago, does not mean you're qualified today. The guidelines have changed. The rules have changed. Right? Like there's a lot of programs that don't even exist anymore. The bank statement programs are just starting to come back a little bit right now, but they're going to be highly limited. But let's talk about what an overlay is. First of all, I want to be clear. At CrossCountry, I have no overlays whatsoever. None whatsoever, which is helping my business because a lot of lenders have them and they can't do the loans. So here's what an overlay is. The guidelines for any loan are set forth by Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac on conventional loans, Ginnie Mae and HUD on government loans. VA is part of that Ginnie Mae, HUD, and VA guidelines. So they set the rules. Banks and mortgage companies don't set the rules. But if the risk level seems high and a lender has a default on a loan, anytime within 6 months of that loan closing, they have to buy that loan back from Fannie Mae or Ginnie Mae. They don't want to do that. It could put a lender out of business if they have a lot of defaults. So they impose overlays, which are additional restrictions over and above what Fannie or Ginnie have imposed. That's what an overlay is. And you're starting to see that. Now, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have imposed their own overlays, which was part of that thing where they didn't come out and clearly announce, hey, if you don't have a 700 credit score anymore, you're going to have trouble getting approved. They just kind of slid it in there and everybody's going, hey, I had your loan approved and you had a 640 credit score on a conventional loan. And now I'm trying to rerun it because we're coming up to closing and it's not going through. We got a problem. Right? So those were the kind of things that happened. So if you are out there and you were approved 2 or 3 months ago, you need to make sure that your lender has got everything up to speed and you know exactly what the rules of engagement are. The other thing is that credit score is more important now than ever before. So if you didn't care that much about your credit and you weren't keeping an eye on the ball, you better start doing it now. Okay. Reserves are important. That means how much money do I have in the bank after I close? Those kind of things are super important. Mike, I truly appreciate you having those great questions. I loved having this conversation with you. This has been amazing. And I hope that a lot of people get some value out of this. And if they have any questions, all of our contact information will be posted on our Facebook page, our websites, and our YouTube. If you want to reach me, you can always go to webringyouhome.com. That's webringyouhome.com. And how would somebody reach you?
MikeMovesOrlando.com.
MikeMovesOrlando.com. Pretty
That's
simple
my
stuff.
website.
And boy, do you ever, my friend. Thanks again for spending time with me today. Have a great weekend. God bless you and your family. And
the same,
we will be talking soon.
Stay safe.
Same to you. Bye now.
Bye-bye.